Facts. As you can see here, this guy is absolutely correct. Though you still have a higher advantage than poor blacks. So I've tested that. So poor whites versus poor blacks, okay, you got a topic to talk about. Okay, I talk about topics that most people don't talk about. But this message comes from a video where these black couples are trying to purchase real estate. And some of the real estate are marked up for blacks, but lowered for whites. Okay, and also, if they're trying to sell a house, okay, blacks would get a lower amount on their return of the house, while whites would get a higher return. But as I said before, appearances do matter. But if there's an occasion where you do not look, if you look like a hillbilly, okay, or you tend to be yellow colored or skinned, and that person is most likely not a Jew, okay, or you maybe is a Jew, okay, but they look at you a certain way. Racism still and biasm does exist in the real estate market. And so, you're catching on to something when you said, oh, this has happened to me, but you said, most likely, you mentioned in your comment that you weren't black, okay? You obviously said I was white, but this happened to me, okay, in so many words, the way you worded was like you were not black, okay, because you did not mention you were black, okay? And I told you, okay, you are most likely that, okay, what you just mentioned here. Poor white trash, okay? They'll give you a lower amount for your property. I know it's not funny, but yeah, there's a discrimination upon that too. So I'm glad you acknowledged, okay, that you wrote that. You know what? You're right. Poor white people don't have equal. That's right. It happens. So we should be focused on White Lives Matter because there's more white poor people than poor black people. Don't. And especially if you look poor, you will not even be talked about. You know the one thing I despise the most about the Black Lives Matter movement? I really despise that no one's recognizing who's in charge of the Black Lives. So Candace Owens is supposed to be doing something about that. I don't know if she exposed it a little bit, I remember. Okay, but not enough, okay? I'm like, shouldn't we be focused on what we can do to stop the killings and the murders in the urban developed areas, okay, right? No, nobody's talking about that, okay? So though white crime is higher, okay, you are not being recognized as the bigger felons. And you get away with it too. Okay? Let you be a poor white person in the court system. They will have more humility upon you. So you do have some advantages for being a poor white citizen. Right? Okay, versus a poor black citizen, okay? But I'm glad you have a sense of humor, okay? Okay, you did not mention that you were black, and you obviously made it clear that you are light-skinned to Caucasian, okay? And it's okay, okay? But there are privileges on both sides, okay? Other than that, that's all I really got to say, okay? So, that since we know, if you do your due diligence and you do the research yourself, anecdotally, you'll find out there's racism. I've tried this with a friend of mine. He don't have any degrees or education like I do, so I put down my education, and they hire him over me, and I'm the one who put like 2 applications in to make sure that this place wasn't racist. Somebody told me it was racist, so I didn't believe it. If you go into suburban areas, right, and you're astute, brother from another mother, you're black or whatever, they will discriminate against you. There is a 60% chance, 70%, okay, and then they'll see another. It does happen. Now, I've been trying to get in contact with Candace Owens about that. I say, why don't you talk about, the disparities on race, okay, racial issues. You don't want to talk about it. Even Larry Elder See, these types of individuals will try to give you an idea that it doesn't exist, okay? So I'm just saying, okay, if it don't exist, why don't you talk about the smallest incidences, if it does happen in small areas in Mississippi or Kansas or whatever racist area there is, why don't you talk about it, okay? If they don't talk about it, something's up. The real reason why they're not doing that, Candace Owens and Larry Elders are not talking about racial discrepancies in America. You know why they're not talking about it? Because they don't want you blacks, okay, to have an excuse so you can't make it. All right? They're using dark psychology. Exactly. Yes. It's like saying it don't exist, okay? It don't exist by 90%. Yeah, in some pockets. They of course they're going to admit it, but why don't they? Okay, why don't they? They're not going to talk about that. That's not their job. Okay. Now, who is talking about it? Cornel West is talking about it. We got Cornel West and Farrakhan talks about it. Okay, but it's not going to be advertised as much as who controls the media. Okay, all right. That's all I really want to say for right now. I don't want to say too much because you know how TikTok algorithms are. They'll think I'm bullying when I am actually a comedian. Okay, it just. Censorship is real. Censorship is real, guys. I do too many things in the background. I am not interested in ambition. I do too many things on the side. Privately, I don't put my shit out there all like that. But anyway, everything is fine with me, guys. Okay, you know what I have to say about all of this racial discrepancies and stuff, this prejudice that's still going on. Try to live somewhere balanced, not somewhere too white. And not somewhere too black, okay, because it's definitely not black, okay. So you want to go a little bit more white in the suburban areas when you want to live, but you got to have some kind of problem somewhere, scattered, okay. You got to use a little bit of psychology and a little bit of research. Low crime areas, because you can't raise your kids, especially your daughters, around criminals. You can't have that. And my daughters are fine, by the way. And all those few people who know me, who says they feel bad for my daughters. They don't know me. So I kind of feel bad for them because they curse themselves. It's kind of sad though, but that's just how it is, okay? Other than that, that's all I really want to say, guys, okay? You're right about this. And I hope you enjoyed this video. Peace. Facts.